This is the first video using the 8-man Trawo action camera mounted on the windshield and the voiceover using Shotcut. Leaving early in the morning from Winngray Campground in Maggie Valley, North Carolina, heading on I-40 back through Asheville to Denver, North Carolina. This is a video that required heavy post-processing to remove the shake. Even though the anti-shake was turned on the camera, the windshield mount caused a lot of shaking and motion, especially on the highway on I-40 with other traffic and wind, and required Shotcut's filter to remove a lot of the shaking. It did a good job of removing shaking from the center of the image. You can see the dots on the windshield continuing to move, and the sky has a strange disconnected appearance. When you look at it, it appears to be jiggling like jello in the clouds at the top of the video, which is interesting. Hopefully a more solid mount somewhere else on the bike, if I do this sort of thing again, will mean that there's a lot less motion than nothing that has to be post-processed out. It took a long time to find filter settings that worked. Several hours of computer processing time done several times over. Here you see my friend the pissant that got on the bike in the campsite and decides to go in the garage here, look around. I think he lasts on the front of the camera because it's behind the windshield and behind the wind. I think he makes it probably for another mile or so before we get up to a speed significant enough to blow him off the lens. But he did do pretty good for a while there. This is the access road that comes off down into Maggie Valley towards Waynesville to the Winngray Campground. Pretty good roads in this area. Maggie Valley, of course, is known for excellent riding. We did get down to Soco Falls and past Soco Falls down to Cherokee, and then we went from Cherokee all the way up through the Newfound Gap and back down over the mountains into Tennessee and into Gatlinburg. It was fantastic weather for that. We made it over to Klingman's Dome, and you can see forever from the top of the mountains up there. It's about 5,000 feet when you're going through the gap. We had a great time at Gatlinburg, although it was extremely hot. And then we made our way back to Maggie Valley and camped there and made it on back home. So as you can tell, we rode along the access road, or Route 276, for a few minutes at the most, coming up to the on-ramp for I-40, which heads east from here to Asheville and then on to Denver. It's a total time of a couple hours ride, probably at the most 2.5. Didn't seem very long at the time. It was a beautiful day. You'll see the sky get a little disconnected here. The camera just couldn't keep up with the windshield wagging in the wind, especially when there was traffic alongside. I think the camera did an okay job, and then the software did clean up the rest of it. I set it to zoom in about 10 or 15% just to give it a border of imagery so that it could pick the frame from each individual frame and reposition it to make it look like it wasn't moving. But there was a tremendous amount of shake in the original video production of this. So I'll spare you the rest of the ride. You can see the sky getting a little detached up there. This was a good exercise for learning how to mount the camera, even with the flimsy clip mount that I had, and for learning to do the post-production and filtering and post-processing and that sort of stuff in the voiceover. I think it worked out well for that. So thank you very much for watching. Until next time.